Alright, so the next thing we're going to talk about is DC. Since James Gunn's taken over DC, this is a little bit late, but I wanted to talk about this because I think Dad might also have some things to say about what James Gunn said, because I did show him the video when it came out, but he probably hasn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, the first thing that he announced was Creature Commandos. Now, I think that Creature Commandos is going to be something that's very interesting when it comes to DC, because I think a lot of these we don't know. Not only do we not know a lot about them, but they're animated, but also they're things that we're more obscure to the general public. So I'm curious to check out Creature Commandos when it comes on DVD, because HBO Max we don't have here in Australia. Thank you, WB. But no, I think that I'm curious for that. And then the second thing that they announced is Waller. I'm curious about Waller because I do like Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. I don't know if I would need a show about her, because I had a decent amount of her in both the two Suicide Squads, and even in Black Adam, we have a little bit of her. We have, I think, we have her daughter in Peacemaker. But whatever they do with the show, I'm very curious about. Thoughts on those two, Dad?
I don't know anything about them, to tell you the truth, though. I don't even...
Because all we know is that Waller is based on Amanda Waller.
Yeah, right. Oh, it might be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see the trailers for them, because if they're like Flash, I mean, as I've always said about DC, they've always run second fiddle to Marvel.
I think that's going to change.
The way they've produced their movies, I think it's bigger and it's better with Marvel.
I think.
Whereas it may change under James Gunn.
I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to change because James Gunn, the way that, even though that he's using comics to advertise his movies, like obviously we're going to get, but with Superman, he's using Superman, not Man Tomorrow. God, I can't remember the name of the comic now, but I think that they're going to be more lighthearted and more true to the characters as opposed to Snyder's vision.
Yeah, okay.
But I think Waller... I'm more excited for Waller than Creature Commandos, but I think that Waller is something I'm just like... You didn't need to do that, but I was kind of not surprised when he said that, because James Gunn already did something about Peacemaker.
Yep.
So if he does a show for Harley or something... Because he loves those Suicide Squad characters.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if the Suicide Squad members end up getting shows.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So...
But he's keeping Suicide Squad, isn't he?
Yes, he's keeping... I think he's keeping John Cena and Idris and Margot and stuff like that, so...
But is that to be used as different characters in different movies, or is that Suicide Squad stuff?
No, I think that's Suicide Squad stuff. I think that the only thing that they're really going to change... they're going to change Superman for sure. They're going to change Batman. They're going to change Flash because of the stuff with Ezra Miller. And they're also going to change, I think, they're going to change some of the other players in that. Like, they're going to keep the Suicide Squad stuff because James Gunn did the Suicide Squad movie. Then he did Peacemaker, which is a spin-off of the Suicide Squad movie.
Have you seen that? That's with John Cena, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Oh, I haven't seen that.
No, I haven't seen that. I want to get on DVD because it's a series.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, and again, it's more of a comedy series. So, I think it's one of the things where it's just like I'm worried, but I'm not like super nervous. The fact that they've keeping some of the players that have been in the original DCU.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine anyone else playing Harley or Wonder Woman and stuff.
No, I couldn't imagine it either.
So, unless you want to do your Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn in the Joker, but even that I don't really see.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
No, that's coming out 2 years? 2025.
Oh, well, what's the Joker that?
Maybe?
So he's not in the. She's not in the Joker movie.
She's not in the first one.
Oh.
She's gonna be in the sequel. But no, I'm excited about that. I think that James Gunn is going to do pretty good with those. So number 3 is, of course, Superman Legacy. I think that I'm not a big Superman fan, but Man of Steel I like.
What do you mean you're not a big Superman fan? You've watched every single one of them, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I like Man of Steel. I like a lot of them. But I think Man of Steel is pretty good. I like Returns. I think Returns is really underrated. I think that, yeah, sure, you do see some beats from the first one, but that's kind of to be expected with any kind of soft reboot. And I think Superman 2 with Reeves is the best one. So I think that there's a lot running on this. This needs to be either... this needs to be more than decent. For this to go on as to DCU, because this is technically the first thing that's going to come out for James Gunn, to kick off his movies, other than The Flash. But I think that Superman Legacy needs to be better than Christopher Reeve's movies, or it's the DCU. The DCU is not gonna continue.
No, they need to do something, I reckon, because I think they're all. I mean, do they make much money at the box office, DC movies, compared to Marvel?
I know that the solo movies did a lot. Like, I think Man of Steel did the weakest, but I think that Suicide Squad did more than Man of Steel.
But there was a lot of people that didn't like Suicide Squad.
No, but the trailers, if you remember the trailers, they were bloody Guardians level. So people were expecting Guardians of the Galaxy, but with Harley Quinn and Deadshot and Joker and crap.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
it sucked a lot of people in.
Yeah, so that one made a ton of money. Wonder Woman made a ton of money because that one... And
the first one or 84?
The first one.
Yeah.
I don't think 84 made a lot because that was the point where it was COVID. But the first one for sure, but that one was really, really good. So, a lot of people love the first Wonder Woman, so it makes sense why that made a lot of money. When you get into the group stuff like Batman vs Superman and Justice League, that's where it didn't really make a ton of money. But when you get into Shazam, obviously made a ton of money. Black Adam made it. Oh well, no, not Black Adam. Aquaman made a ton of money. Black Adam made not heaps, but definitely not a little. They've kind of gone not less quality, but they've made less money over the recent years after the Suicide Squad and the Snyder Cut. I think that people just get themselves a little too excited. About these movies and end up being disappointed. But from the reports that are going around about The Flash, I think that the hype around this movie is well deserved because I've heard good things about The Flash and it's one of the best superhero movies or comic book movies that we've had in years.
That's right.
So apparently people are saying that it's better than The Dark Knight, which is normally the gold standard for comic book movies. So I think that is going to change the trajectory of the DC movies going forward.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm excited for Legacy. I'm not a big Superman person, but I've grown to be, let's just say that. Then, number 4, we have a Lanterns TV series. So this is, of course, with the Green Lanterns, with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. I think that...
Ryan Reynolds not involved?
Hell no. No.
Well, he played Green Lantern, didn't he?
Let's not talk about that. But no, he did, but that movie is apparently pretty bad.
Right.
Tuffrey likes it. I haven't seen it, but Tuffrey likes it. He's like, I don't understand the hate for that movie. It's like, okay, you think that I have bloody bad opinions? Bloody absurd. But no, I think that they're definitely going to be recast, but I think that, even Ryan Reynolds has that movie. There's no way that he gets involved with this. He made a bloody joke in Deadpool 2 where Deadpool goes back and shoots Ryan Reynolds in the head for reading that script. There's no bloody way that he's involved with this movie.
I was just asking. Well, it's not a movie, it's a TV series, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a TV series, but it's live action, and apparently it's going to be like True Detective, but with the Green Lanterns. That kind of makes me curious about, I don't know if it's...
So that will be screened on HBO Max?
Yes.
So we can't get to see it?
No.
Great.
Which is the problem. And this is the reason, and this is another thing, before I continue on with the movies and shows, this is the reason why I need a PS5, because the PS4 and the 360 and Xbox One are kind of fading out, the games are starting to do more for PS5. And James Gunn even said, we're going to do shows, we're going to do movies, and we're going to do games for all the DC stuff. So if you're not, very much like the Marvel movies, but the Marvel movies are not doing games in the world. So if you don't have this video game and you don't see this show, you're going to be very confused when they show up in movies.
Yeah, okay.
So, which is why I was confused at the end of Shazam during the mid-credit, which we didn't see, but I didn't really want to see it again, to be frank. But at the end, two people from Peacemaker go up to him and see if he wants to be a part of the Justice Society.
Yep.
I didn't even remember the chick from Black Adam, which apparently she was. I haven't seen Peacemaker yet, so I was very confused on what was happening. So, but I do want to get a PS5 because I kid you not, I saw some at Big W and I'm like, I need to get this almost ASAP because otherwise these games, like Gotham Knights, is not on PS4. These Superman and Batman games that are going to come out for the DCU are not going to be on PS4.
Well, you just have to save your pennies, Jack.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately. But, so, number 5 is The Authority. Now, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about this. I think that it's going to be very much like well, not the same as Creature Commandos, but the same in the fact that it's going to be, like, how do I put it? It's not the... Oh, crap. Like, they're going to be the same as what the general public thinks. They're not going to be as familiar with it. So, I think that I'm curious about this, but I'm not sold on it yet. But, this next one I am sold on. Batman, the Brave and the Bold. I think that this one's going to get really good. We're going to have our new Batman. I don't know who it is. Apparently, some people have been speculating George Clooney.
Well, George coming back? I didn't think he'd come back for
it. They're not official, but I've heard things about that. Apparently, George Clooney might come back. Because James Gunn has shut it down. But I think that there have been rumors going around that it's like the mid-credit scene is going to reveal our new actors going forward.
What is that like old mate that turned up yesterday in Shazam in the Wonder Woman outfit? What was his name?
The Wizard.
Yeah, the Wizard.
Yeah. Billy Batson.
That's him.
Yeah. But no, I think that this movie is going to show the new actors playing Batman and Superman. I've heard that it's a previous Batman actor, and the three options were literally Christian Bale, Val Kilmer, and George Clooney. Bale says that he will come back, but the problem is he even said, I am not returning unless Nolan's involved. So he's probably not going to come back unless Christopher Nolan directs that movie, which he's probably not, because James Gunn would want to pick someone else.
Yeah, right.
So, Val Kilmer, you can't do throat cancer.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising, but I really want to see him get a good redemption as a serious Batman. But the biggest one that we're just kind of like, maybe, is George Clooney.
Yeah, right.
Because George Clooney, he has been joking about Batman Robin. Like, we even saw, even when we saw Ticket to Paradise, they threw him at a joke of this dude, but he came up to him in a bloody Adam West costume.
That was at the motel.
Yeah, it was like, oh, hey, George. And then he started laughing because he wanted in the scene. Which that was kind of a mad joke too, because his movie is compared to a modern version of the 60s series.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me laugh.
That'll be interesting. I didn't think George Clooney would put his name to it again.
Honestly, I don't think so either. But because James Gunn has debunked it. But I think that I don't know if he's going to come back in Flash or what. But if he comes back in Flash, I'll be very surprised if he does come back for a cameo.
So, but this Flash wasn't made under the what's his name?
James Gunn.
Yeah, he wasn't part of DC when they made Flash, was he?
No, but I think that their plan is that this movie mainly is going to transition us into the new movies, because the whole point of Flashpoint is that you can soft reboot it without seeing a new universe to do more origin stories.
Yeah, right.
So I think that this movie is really going to be the movie that resets the entire DC movies going forward.
Yeah.
So, and then
that'll be good. Something to look forward to, yeah.
Well, exactly. I think apparently this is one of the best DC movies that we've gotten. Apparently it's better than the Shazam movies, so yeah, I'm curious about it. And then number 8 we have Booster Gold. I do not know anything about this character.
Who is it?
Booster Gold.
Booster Gold.
Yep. But Dad's going to look at some images. He's going to be pretty whack. I do not see how this guy can transfer into live action. I think that this is going to be one of those things where it's like, are you really going to try and do this? I think that that's going to be a little bit off.
He was in Justice League, like in the TV shows.
Yeah, he was.
He was also in Batman, The Brave and the Bold.
I think he was, yeah.
Booster Gold is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics the first edition was printed in 1986.
Okay, so I don't know how James Gunn going to translate it. I do trust James Gunn. I'm curious to see what he does with it, but I don't know if it's... Oh, crap. I don't know if the general public is going to be aware of this movie.
Don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they talk it up. I mean, most of the... who knew of Iron Man when they came out with it? He was, but
comic book fans knew Iron Man.
Oh,
but it's
that's
one of
right,
those
comic book fans. But I mean,
the same as Booster Gold. But I mean, like, I guess people already knew. I guess it depends on who's cast as Booster Gold, because normally you get the actor selling the movie.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to me, like when you get Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and you literally get Karen Gillan and The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black. 3 of my favourite actors, I'm already sold. So
well, they're in this DC.
No, I don't think so. I think, The Rock is Black Adam, but I don't think he's going to survive the reboot, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's also some conflict between him and Zachary Levi, which I don't necessarily want to get into. That's a bit...
Who's Zachary Levi?
Shazam.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, yep.
Yeah. But I think there's some stuff that's going to happen with that. Now, number 9, I'm very curious about this. We're getting Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I don't know who they cast, but I'm curious about this movie.
Have they cast anyone? No, nothing yet.
No,
so what's the time frame for all of this? Over the next 5-10 years, what is it?
Apparently this is only half of the first slate.
Right, okay.
This first slate is very much like phase 1 of Marvel.
Yep.
Apparently, the only things that they have announced that I know of is 10 things.
Yeah, okay.
So that's only half.
Yeah.
So if we're getting 20 things...
But you don't know what time frame they're looking at, though.
No, I know that I know that Superman Legacy is, I think, coming out in 2025.
Yep.
Which I think that it's one of those things where it's like, the problem is that it's a 10-year contract at the moment.
Yep.
So, if Superman Legacy and all of the films that they in series have planned, they go well, they will sign James Gunn and Peter Safran to do more years.
Yep.
But if this Superman movie flops, I don't think we're getting any other DC movies.
Yeah, okay.
Unless it's like the Batman and Joker.
Right.
So, I hope that this thing doesn't flop. So...
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see.
Yeah. But I'm curious about Supergirl, because they're not bringing back Melissa. Because this is another universe. They're not going to bring back Sasha Calle. Well, don't think so anyway. I don't know who they're going to cast. We might do another episode where we fan cast our DCU, which will be very exciting to talk about. Now, number 10, before we get into one of the bigger... God, I just realised how much I wrote for the next thing. But number 10 is Swamp Thing. So Swamp Thing...
Swamp Thing?
Yeah. I don't know what... Now, apparently he has had 2 movies, and he's had some series that are pretty good, but I don't know anything about it. So I'm curious to watch those series. I know it won't be in continuity, but I'm curious to see what they do with Swamp Thing. But yeah, so that's all of James Gunn's stuff. We broke it down.
It's already a movie. It's a horror.
Yeah, Wes Craven did it. Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream.
So it's a DC thing, though, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But that was like in the 80s. He hasn't had a movie since...
There is no reference whatsoever, other than here to say it's a DC comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But the movie itself, it doesn't reference...
Yeah, it wouldn't reference Batman and stuff. It's very much like...
Oh, no, but it doesn't even reference that it's DC.
No, it's... Yeah, that's a lot with those movies, except for like Batman and Superman, because they're like the face of DC.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm excited about the DCU. I don't know what's going to happen with the future of the DCU after Flash. All I can tell you is that I'm excited for the Flash and curious to see if they show the new actors being the characters, and curious on who they keep.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether if they keep Zachary as Shazam and Margot as Harley and Gal as Wonder Woman.
Yep.
But I don't know what they're going to do, so I'm curious about that. So